The best $20 you will spend in your relationship. September 15th, 2001 was one of the greatest days of my life. It was a day Kristen and I became husband and wife. 4 days after the tragedy of 9/11, our wedding ceremony provided some good news in a week when we all needed something to smile about. I still remember almost every detail about that day. The white pews in the chapel of Peach Sheep Presbyterian Church in Atlanta were decorated with purple, red, and maroon flowers. The candles on the groom's side looked as if they were about to fall over. I felt goosebumps rising on my arms as our friend Todd played "You Are Awesome in This Place" on his guitar. Then I straightened my tuxedo and nervously walked with my groomsmen to our designated spot at the front of the sanctuary. My best man, my brother Chris, stood at my side. Turning to face the pews, I was grateful to see our friends and family who had gathered to celebrate our marriage and lavish us with love on our wedding day. After what seemed like an eternity, the organ finally began to play the first few familiar notes of the wedding march, and the large wooden doors opened to reveal my stunning bride. I remember being awestruck by Kristen's beauty as she walked down the aisle to marry me. I admired her splendor and poise and grace. I wasn't able to restrain my tears of joy as the love of my life joined me to exchange our marriage vows. Why this book? I love a good wedding. I still get a little choked up every time I see a father walking his daughter down the aisle to meet her adoring groom. She usually holds it together while the groom can't restrain his tears. I enjoy the conversations, the food, the dancing, and of course the wedding cake. I've been to morning weddings, evening weddings, indoor weddings, outdoor weddings in the 100-degree Texas heat, and even a wedding on the 18th hole of a prestigious golf course. One of my favorite parts of my job as a marriage pastor is getting to attend and officiate so many weddings. But the best weddings are the ones when I'm excited and hopeful for the bride and groom. We've all been to weddings when we're anxious about the couple's future. I don't want that to be your story. I want you to be ready to tie the knot. When you share your vows and say, "Till death do us part," I want you to know what and who you are committing to. Lately, I've noticed many couples spend more time planning their wedding than preparing for their marriage. The pressure to have an amazing wedding has increased significantly since Kristen and I said "I do." Today, many engaged couples spend hours and hours looking through bridal magazines and websites, poring over details and pinning images that tend to pull the focus off the marriage and onto the wedding day. Because our society and even our churches put a lot of pressure on couples to have a beautiful wedding, far too many couples slide by important conversations and questions that beg to be asked. Don't misunderstand me. There's nothing wrong with having a great wedding, unless it's at the expense of a great marriage. In 2017, the average price of a wedding in America landed at a whopping $25,764. This average cost doesn't even include some of the extraneous expenses such as the rehearsal dinner and honeymoon. In contrast, the book you're listening to probably cost you at most $20. I wrote Ready or Not to help seriously dating and engaged couples take the best next step in your relationship. Whether you are considering marriage for the first time or thinking through the realities of remarriage, listening to this book can be the best investment you will make in your relationship. Let's be honest, no one plans to end up divorced or stuck in a lifeless marriage. Every couple comes into marriage with the best of intentions. Yet we continually see couples, both inside and outside the church, whose marriages end in divorce or misery. This book guides you through 12 essential conversations you need to have with your significant other before you tie the knot, including ones you've been avoiding and some you probably didn't even know you should have. When you and your future spouse take the time to talk through each of these issues honestly and thoughtfully, you will be well prepared for a healthy, successful marriage. Who is Scott Kedersha and why should I care what he says? Since 2006, I have served as a marriage pastor at Watermark Community Church in Dallas, Texas. I love my job and am grateful that I get to help couples prepare for and start their marriages well. During the past 13 years, I've helped lead thousands of seriously dating and engaged couples, and I've officiated close to 100 weddings. I've served alongside couples with successful marriages as I've counseled struggling couples who wish they'd never gotten married in the first place. Along the way, I've learned countless lessons about dating, relationships, and marriage that I want to pass on to you. How will this book help you? Before I tell you how to prepare for marriage, we need to talk about traffic lights. Now imagine driving your car and approaching a traffic light. Based on the color of the light, you either move forward, green, slow down when it's yellow.